What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Brick City Boys podcast. I'm Matty Ice, and he is Tommy D. Tommy, we're in full force, man. Season is here. I'm hyped up about it. I know you are too. We've been hitting up our group chat. We got another buddy that we have in there that we just talk about all the games, all the upsets going on. So I can't wait to get into this, man.
Yeah, man, that group chat was popping this weekend. So many good games, so much to talk about. So, oh man, where do we start?
Well, we got to start with our
I know you got
pending shouts out. So I got a shout out. It's not college basketball related. I'm taking this in a different direction. I got to give a shout out to office birthdays, man. Shout out to office birthdays. Reason why, you get free food, man. It's nice. You get free lunch, and if you're lucky like me, man, you hop into the lunchroom after work. There's some leftover food. You snag it, take it. You got meal prep for the next 2-3 days. So shout out to office birthdays.
Hey, I like that. I mean, I miss working in the office sometimes from all the free perks. I mean, working from home is just you. You gotta make
Absolutely.
breakfast, lunch. You got nothing coming in, and especially my work. We were always having production meetings, so they would always have food down there. But definitely miss that. But I guess
There's nothing.
No.
There's only a select few things that Tommy loves more than free stuff, especially free food. I think Costco might be one of them.
Free food in Costco, man. That's all you need in life.
Absolutely. So who you got? You got a shouts out or what?
Yeah, I'm shouting out the mid majors this week, and specifically a game that actually happened today. It was a Myrtle Beach Invitational. Number 24, Texas A&M, going down to the shouts out the big Murray State Racers. They're up the whole game. They're up at 7.5, and they just poured it on. They ended up winning by 9, and I love to see the mid-majors taking down the big names. So shout out to all the mid-majors out there, man.
Texas A&M was a team I liked too early, and it's cool to see them in the top 25. They're probably going to move down now since they were right on the cusp. But I still like them moving forward, man. And I got a little nugget later on that I'm going to talk about with them. So, but with that being said, we got some games we got to talk about, and we got to break it down and run some numbers. But I just had a random question for you, because I don't remember how it got brought up, but I was talking with one of my buddies, for one of my Miami buddies. We were talking about, like, if you could have an NIL deal, like you're a college guy, what's the one company you'd want it with? And I was like, dude, I would have something fucking set up. I would work with Taco Bell, where it was like every time I make a 3, like the crowd gets like a Taco Bell taco for free, or a cheesy gordita crunch or something. That would be dope. Although that is like kind of pay for play, so I don't think that would really work out. But what about you, man? What would I feel like it would be like Costco or something for you.
I mean, that would be cool. But I actually just thought of something that would be pretty cool. So I love food. Food and Costco are big things in my life. But I know you aren't a big fan, but this would be, they might actually take me up on it. You'd have to buy like a purchase of a drink or fries. But if I was like a really star player, right? And I had an NIL deal, I'm going in and out. Anytime I got a double-double, you get a free double-double with the purchase of like a drink or fry.
Oh, that's a dope one. I like it.
So double-double for me, double-double for you. I think someone needs that. We need to get somebody in California to get that. Someone from like USC or UCLA just need to hit up in and out and be like, yo, anytime I do a double-double, we're giving away double-double.
Dude, we got to get Tiger Campbell or Jaime Jaquez on that, dude. That would be pretty dope.
I know some
we
people
have an idea for you. I know we got some in and out connections. Maybe we can make that thing happen.
I just thought about that on the top of my head, and we might be making moves now.
I know you thought of a better one off the top of your head than me, man. Look at you.
But Taco Bell would be pretty good. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible for you, but Taco Bell is just so damn good, man.
Yo, dude, or like Flood Bowl for everyone.
Yo, the Flood
Flood
Bowl.
Flood Bowl.
And if people don't know what we're talking about Chipotle. I love
Yeah,
Chipotle.
Chipotle. There's a thing that went viral. It's the Flood Bowl where you just get a shit ton of food and you max out your calories and stuff. It's amazing. But we both love Chipotle. But we got to get into some college hoops, man. I thought I could break it down, run some numbers real quick, and then we could get into the game recaps. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, okay. So let's break it down, run some numbers. All right, man. So the first number I got for you is 5. 5 is the number of ACC teams that are outside of the Ken Palm top 100.
Ooh, not a
FSU,
good look.
Georgia Tech, Louisville, Pitt, and Boston College are all outside the top 100. Next up, we got is 10, the number of top 25 teams that will be playing Friday night. So we're gonna be ready for that one tomorrow, including the
Ooh,
main event in Vegas. We got Illinois, UVA, UCLA, and Baylor all playing tomorrow. So that's gonna be a good matchup. And then I think on Sunday is when Gonzaga and Kentucky play.
you
And then
stole my
this,
thunder. Yep. Keep going.
sorry. And then the last one we got a never before. Well, actually, no, I have 2 more. I'll go with this one first. Next one is 5. Because we talk about some good basketball this weekend, but man, next week we have 5 premier tournaments, man. We got the Maui Invitational, the Battle for Atlantis, the Phil Knight Invitational, the Phil Knight Legacy, and the ESPN Events Invitational. I think it's from like November 24th to the 27th. They're all happening, so it's going to be a loaded few days of that. I think that like over half the ranked teams, top 25, are playing in it. So yeah, but the last one, man. So I got a stat line for you as the last number, and the numbers are 17, 8, 4.3, 66.67, and 100%. That is a stat line of one Jalen Clark of UCLA, who's putting up
Oh,
a monster stat line so far this season. Our boy Brendan, who's a huge UCLA fan, is all about him, preaches him. Putting up 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4.3 steals, and shooting
damn.
67% and 100% from the free throw line. And I think he's shooting relatively well from 3-point range as well. But yeah, so those are your numbers. With that being said, should we get into these game recaps, man? Because we had some nice games going on.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys remember from last show, I said there's 2 games you need to watch. And the first one I said was Gonzaga versus Michigan State on the aircraft carrier. I don't know if you guys actually watched it or listened to what I said, but it was an amazing game. Oh my goodness. Gonzaga, Michigan State, they're wearing the unis, they're on the battleship, and they had the friggin' perfect setting coming down. It was so cool to watch. Matt, did you end up
What
watching that game?
I watched part of it, but would you believe me if I told you that there was actually there's a couple of college basketball podcasts that I listened to that they actually complained about the aircraft carrier games, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with
What?
you? Oh, the floor, there's condensation, there's no. If you're a real baller, you can play inside or outside. Okay. I'm sick. I don't want to hear that BS. This is an American game. All of America should support these games. And I still want to go to one of these games because I think they're amazing.
Yeah, no,
The
I
one that was
definitely.
kind of weird to me was Wisconsin that was playing in the baseball stadium, and it was just like the court was in the middle of that was kind of weird to me. But if you hating on this, man, I don't know what to tell you. Aircraft carrier games are dope.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought that was a good game. And it came down to the last play of the game. Gonzaga was down the whole game, and they came back and ended up winning. And Michigan State had a good look at the end, actually. I mean, they're down by 2. Michigan State went for the 3, which I
Yeah.
love. I love when teams go for the win. Just end it. Don't try to do anything. Just fancy and get it. Just take the 3, end the game. It missed, went back iron though. It looked straight from the shot. It was just a little too much touch. So that was the
Yeah.
first game I told you guys to watch. And the second game I told you to watch was Duke versus Kansas. I
Yep.
don't know if you caught any of that game,
Yes,
Matt,
I
but did
did.
you?
Yeah.
That was a pretty good game of itself right there. I mean, I go ahead if you have any thoughts on it first.
Yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised because I think when we did the ACC preview, I talked a little bit about the freshman that Duke has. I've been impressed with Philip Kowski. I thought he played pretty well. I think he had a double double. He's averaging a double double so far, 3 games into the season, or how I think they've played 3 games. Um, but I think that there were times that Duke is kind of missing like a go-to scorer. I don't know
Yeah.
if you kind of got that same thing, and I think Dariq Whitehead, like I think he could be that for them. I think he's a great slasher. I watched their it's before the season. I think it's their blue versus white game, and he was really good. He stuck out like on the floor. Um, Jeremy Roach definitely took a step up in terms of like they're looking to him for more offense. Can he carry that load all season, and play make? But I I think that it's just too early to tell. These big matchups this early in the season is just hard. Um, and I thought what I was really interested in was Kansas playing small ball, man, because you saw them play KJ Adams at the 5. He's only 6'8". They had a lineup of like it was mainly 6'7", 6'8". So I mean they weren't small because everyone besides DeJuan Wagner, I think he's like probably like 6'1" or 6'2". I don't know. Everyone else was like 6'7", 6'8". So you see that switchability. Jalen Wilson played well, and he's kind of taken that next step up. But these are both teams that kind of have a little bit of question marks in terms of like, can they be in the Elite Four, the Final Four? Sorry. Um, so I mean, it's still early. Is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, totally early. I'm surprised you didn't say anything about your boy on Kansas, freshman. He had some clutch threes
Oh, Grady
down in
Dick.
the final 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, no, Grady Dick.
Yeah.
I saw something that was so funny because like there's always that hated white guy like on Duke or like on some team, and they were saying
He
how
is
like
going to
Philip
be the
Kowski,
next.
yeah, but Grady Dick is gonna be the next hated because he's animated, man.
um, yeah, he is, but he
So
made some clutch shots down the stretch to pretty much give Kansas the win, secure the bag.
yeah, no, I think there was like a period where he had like 7 or 9 straight points or something like that. So they really looked to him, and this early as a true freshman, it kind of speaks to his ability. So, but yeah, man,
I was going to say that speaks volumes as a freshman to give it to him. That's pretty sweet.
yeah.
So another game I wanted to get into, which I was watching. Actually, I didn't catch any of this game, and I'm actually so bummed I missed it.
Which one? Oh,
It
Michigan
was
State and
the
Kentucky?
double game.
Yeah, Michigan State and
Yes.
Kentucky. Yeah, so I
And
thought it was a good game. I think like just seeing Michigan State um, against Kentucky, and then also earlier, we talked about the game against Gonzaga. Both of them extremely close, obviously, and stuff. But I was really impressed with Michigan State, and honestly, I think they're a lot better than I previously thought. I think that they struggled a little bit in terms of their guards with like turnovers and stuff. I think they were kind of forcing things that weren't there. And it was the thing that I kind of took away from is it was turnovers that like can be pretty easily fixed, but like, will they be easily fixed, or are these things that are just going to be a tendency? I think AJ Hogard had like 5 turnovers in each game. But I think Michigan State, man, is a legit team to watch, and I think it's safe to say that
oh
Michigan
yeah.
State, is going to be back this season, and I think there was a lot of question marks with them. So, but
Yeah, you
yeah,
can never count them out. They're that's what they're known for. College basketball, man. I mean, they're going to be a powerhouse. Just like
yeah,
UCLA, it's a powerhouse. Like they're going to be good. They're going to be good. They're going
yeah.
to
Well, I think they've
put
had
out.
some down years in terms of like they haven't been as good as they have recently, But I think that has a chance to change this season.
Yeah, totally. Another game which I actually was watching last night.
Yep.
I turned it off actually with 8 minutes to go. They're down
Hmm.
19, but it was oh man, Gonzaga. They had a great come
Zags.
out win, and then they did not look good last night, man.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna say. So Gonzaga, Texas. I honestly left this game being more impressed with Texas than I was disappointed with Gonzaga, if that makes sense. Um, I love the pairing of Tyrese Hunter, the transfer from Iowa State, and Marcus Carr. When I previewed the Iowa State versus Miami game, and so Tyrese Hunter was one of the guys that I really looked at a lot. And watching him last night, man, he looks like a completely different player. He looks more comfortable offensively, and I think in general, like that confidence and everything, um, just brought like a different factor for Texas because it let Marcus Carr play, his game a little bit more. And honestly, the ball movement looked completely different from when I watched Texas like last season. It wasn't as like it was still ISO driven, but it looked like there was more involvement until you got to that ISO action or whatever, if that makes sense. So I think Texas is real deal, man.
Yeah. And Chris Beard, I mean, you gotta love the guy. He was hyping up the crowd. Crowd was getting
I know.
into it, man.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was getting
literally
into it.
there. Gonzaga's bringing it down the floor, and he's literally on the sideline. They're up like 16 at this time, and he's literally just hands up in the air, getting the crowd just nuts. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
the guy I want to see as a head coach. That's so cool, you know?
The only thing I was gonna say is, so I don't want to say, I don't want to say because I said I didn't really want to overreact to Gonzaga and stuff, but like for me, I had kind of different expectations for Gonzaga this season than I think other people did. Um, I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be really good, but I think you can, I just can't compare them to the teams that they've had the past like 3-4 years because I think I looked this up. Last 4 out of 5 tournaments, they've been 1 seeds, and then they were a 4 seed. I think one time out of that 5 years or 5 tournament appearances. Um, I don't see them being a 1 seed this season. I think they're more like a 2-3 maybe. I know it's still super early, but I mean when you look at this roster, like I mean they still got Timmy. I still like I think outside of oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Who's their guard? Is it Strother that had like 14, I think? Or was it Bolton? I always
Yeah.
confuse the um
Bolton.
Yeah, I just not sure who that like third guy is, you know. They had the transfer from the Mox come in, Malachi. Um, I just don't know, what to really expect outside of those two guys offensively. I still think they're gonna be a really good team. I'm just not sure, 1 seed, top 4 team, I don't, regular season. I think they'll still do well in conference play, but like if you look at their schedule, like hold up, I had it up here. They still play Kentucky this Sunday, right? They play Baylor and they play
Yep.
Alabama. Like I could see them losing every single game. Like I think it's
Damn.
realistic. Um, I think that like, I mean, they go 1-2. Like, do you think that they still have a chance? Because I mean, they play in the WCC. Like even in, I mean, St. Mary's looks
Yeah.
really good. I wouldn't be surprised if St. Mary's takes a game from them this season like they did last. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm just kind of iffy and like this is from like Gonzaga standards. You know what I mean? Like they're a number 1 seed, like I said, 4 out of the 5 last tournaments. I mean, do they drop to like a 2 or 3? Still a great team, and that doesn't mean that they can't, make it to the national championship. It's just there's questions, that
Yeah.
need answering.
No, totally. I totally get that. And I would still consider them, as much as it pains me, it's still mid-major, to be honest. Because I mean, they play in the WCC. It's not known for being a big conference at all. And I love St. Mary's, which is in the WCC, but I got to be honest, like Gonzaga won't have, and I feel like that is what pains them so much because think about it this way: you can load the non-conference games, right? Which they do. I give them props. They
Mm-hmm.
play a lot of teams in the beginning, right? They play like 10 solid teams, and once season comes, really, there's only St. Mary's and BYU. Everybody else, I don't want to say, but it's pretty much a cakewalk. They should.
Yeah.
It's their game to lose is a better word to say. Is they should win. They should win out. Besides St. Mary's and BYU, so that's what kills me is when they reach these tournaments. Like you said, they've been the 1 seed 4 out of 5 years, but they don't have that like depth, or I guess even experience of the whole season, because it's tough when you only play really half a season. You play your non-conference, but during the season, it's really not a full season, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you go from playing these highly competitive games to going to conference play where, you can get away with a few more things. And then you play in the tournament where you're playing against, completely different beasts. So I get what you mean. Like, even when they played against Memphis last season, like, it looked like they were like, what the hell did we get into? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyways, should we get into the next thing that I got for us?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So I got a list of teams here, and we're gonna do a new little segment here, Tom's. And we talked about this. When was this? Like a few
Ooh.
days ago. We got some.
You
As the
gave me
fans
a heads
know.
up.
Yeah, I gave you a heads up. Sometimes I don't, but as the fans know, man, our boy right here, Tommy D, is a widely regarded investor. So I got to come up with something like that. So we got buy, sell, hedge. So I'm going to give you a team. We're going to go over it. I'll give you like how they're performing, and we'll say, do you buy, sell, hedge it? Got a few interesting ones on here, but the
Ooh, this
first
is gonna be
one,
tough.
the
I
first
like
one I
these. I
got
like
for
when you
you.
give me. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I don't know
Yeah.
any of these teams, by the way, so this is gonna be fun.
Well, oh, I did text you them. Maybe you just didn't look at it.
I didn't want to cheat, but
Wow, whatever.
now
All
I
right,
might
first one.
pull up my phone. No, I'm not
San
gonna pull my
Diego
phone.
State. They're 3-0. Wins over Cal State Fullerton, BYU, and Stanford. We talked about them being a good defensive team this season, maybe the best. They're top 10 in defensive efficiency per Ken Palm. How you feel about this one? You buying? You selling? You hedging your bet? What do you think?
I like San Diego State. I'm actually gonna buy this one.
Okay.
I think they're gonna be right now. They're ranked 17th in the nation, which is also really good.
I think that's a
I
fair. I'd have them in
I was
that
gonna
range.
I was gonna say they're definitely not top 15. I would say probably more like 21, but I would
Mm-hmm.
still buy them at 17. They play they beat BYU by 13. They beat Stanford by 12. They
Yeah.
crushed Fullerton. Oh, they got Ohio State and UC Irvine coming up next.
Yep.
And they got St. Mary's.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah, you
Oh,
didn't know
they
that?
actually did good on conference. I did
Yeah.
not know we played the San Diego State. That's going to be a
So
really good game. And go
let's get
ahead.
into the next one. I know, man, you're getting all excited now about that game. Next one I got for
Damn.
you is a good
We
one.
going or what?
I mean, if you
Might be
want
in
to, I'm
San
down.
Diego.
I'm down. We'll figure out the date. We can talk about it. The next one I got for you though is a team that retained the most from last season coming into this season, and that's TCU. Kind of looked sus in that first game against Arkansas Pine Bluff, only won by a point, and I think it was right at the buzzer actually. They beat they beat wait, did they beat Northwestern State or did they beat Ryder? I can't remember now.
They beat
Damn
Lamar.
it. Oh, they beat Lamar, and did they lose
They
to
beat Lamar.
Northwestern
They beat
State?
Pine Bluff. And they lost to Northwestern by 1.
Yeah. So
And they're
they lost
currently
to
playing right
Northwestern.
now.
They lost to Northwestern State, who's ranked 342nd in the Ken Palm rankings. So not even like a solid mid major. Didn't really know that much about them. What are you going here, man? Buying, selling,
All right.
hedging.
TCU, number 15. I'm actually selling this one.
Oh, okay.
I'm selling it. I mean, they were down to Pine Bluff by a lot, 18 to
Mm-hmm.
be exact. They ended up coming back and winning by 1, and it came down to the final play. That was the first area of concern. Okay. Then
Okay.
they got Lamar, who I've never heard of,
I've heard of
and
Lamar. Mm-hmm.
Lamar Odom.
No.
No, they got Lamar, and they only won by 12. I or they won by 11. Sorry, but and here then they play Northwestern, like you said, not a great mid major. They're usually in the tournament. Northwestern, you always hear that name. It's sort of like
No,
a
it's
big
Northwestern
name
State.
school, and they Oh, Northwestern State, not even Northwestern.
Yes.
Oh, good thing
Yes.
I'm selling this team. Yeah, they're 15th right now. They are not going to be ranked come Monday morning. Selling TCU.
Oh, okay. I um I am actually gonna hedge my bet here, man. Um, I think that they're down right now, but I'm doubling down, man. I believe in TCU, man. I believe in Mike Miles. I believe in Blumpkin, or sorry, Lampkin, our boy. Um, I just think they're well coached. I think that they really got gypped in the tournament last season. I really think that they're going to turn it on
Yeah,
when it
they
matters.
did.
I think this is just early season struggles. Um, I don't think it's something similar to other schools that are struggling right now, like Florida State, for instance.
Selling them.
So yeah, so yeah. Well, that's good to know. This one though, Michigan State. What are you doing? You buying, selling?
Ooh, I'm actually buying them. I
Oh yeah,
think,
that's easy buy for me. I'm buying all of it.
yeah, yeah, I like them a lot. Um,
Yeah.
just to come out and barely lose to Gonzaga by 1 point
Mhm.
at the buzzer, pretty much, and then coming out and being number 4 Kentucky. I mean,
Yeah.
you play the two of the top 4. I mean, Gonzaga's literally number 2 and Kentucky's number 4. I'm buying Michigan State. They played well. Like I
Yeah.
said, I didn't get to watch much of the Kentucky game, but I watched all of the Gonzaga game, and they should have beat Gonzaga.
Yeah. No, I'm buying them too. Next one I got for you though, Tennessee wins over Tennessee Tech and Florida Gulf Coast, but lost to Colorado by 12. Both Zakai Ziegler and Santiago Vescovi, two guys that we talked about, struggling shooting like around
Yep.
30%. You buying, selling, hedging? What are you doing here with Tennessee?
So Tennessee, this is an interesting one. They're down 11 right now since their last ranking in the polls. They're down to 22, but I'm actually going to hedge. I think
Same.
they're just starting off slow. I really think that they have some great players. They got some good talent. Guys that can make buckets. I'm not selling them. I'm hedging.
Okay, I got you. I'm in the same boat as well. Okay. Last one that I got for you, or I have two more. St. Mary's. We buy and selling St. Mary's. They they beat Vermont, Oral Roberts, North Texas, some good mid majors. I think they played another game too in between this. I think they beat Southern. Was it?
It was
Um,
Southern.
and it was by an average of 23 points. They've been really good defensively. Number 11 in defensive efficiency. Aiden Mahaney, man, leading scorer as a
Dude,
true freshman.
came
You
out of
talked about him
nowhere.
last week. Came out of nowhere. Um, what do you think, man? You. I mean, you're buying this, right? I would imagine.
So I want to buy this, right?
Hmm.
But, and I'm the biggest St. Mary's guy there is on any
Yeah, you went
podcast you'll
there.
ever hear. Um, I want to say I'm going to buy them, but I'm actually going to hedge. And here's why. This is some insider information, by the way, so listen closely.
Oh, okay.
St. Mary's is a great team. We're looking really good. Mahoney looks amazing as a freshman. Like, where the hell did he come from? This is awesome. But I'm actually going to hedge this, and this is why. Our first 4 games have been three of them. I guess you could say great mid majors. Great mid majors. And the reason I'm hedging this is because it is so hard to play in Moraga, California. It's a high school gym on a college campus in the middle of nowhere. And it gets so loud in that stadium that I've been in there and it is so loud and it's so hard literally, I hate to say it, but playing in Moraga is home court advantage and I guarantee you, like then that's why nobody wants to play in Moraga, California. We try to get big name
Mhm.
schools, but they won't come out to visit us. And that's why all of our big name schools are always at a neutral site because nobody will play Moraga. So that's the reason I'm hedging it because we won 4 games, but I think being at home, they're a lot closer if we're on the road.
Okay, I got you. Last one I got. It's not even just a team; it's an entire conference. The
Ooh.
ACC. Um,
Oh! Oh man.
FSU was 0-3 with losses to Stetson, Troy, and a double-digit loss to UCF. We talked about them. We were both saying, Matthew Cleveland and Jalen Warley have to step up as sophomores. They're both not doing that well. Both under 8 points a game. Then we have Louisville, who's 0-3. They lost to I think it was D2 or D3 school in an exhibition game. Pitt is 1-2. Played Michigan and West Virginia, lost by an average of 28 points. Boston College lost to Maine, and Syracuse lost to Colgate by 22. How do you like that, Jim Boeheim? Got busted by that Colgate shooting, man. That was minty fresh. I mean, I am selling everyone below. I think, okay. I am
Boston
selling
College.
everyone that is not named Duke. You know what? I think you know what? I have two hot takes for you. One was that Gonzaga is not going to be a 1 seed in the tournament. The other is that UNC won't finish in the top 10.
Oh.
You know how we talked about one team inside? What was that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
But anyways, so I'm selling them. I think the only teams, Miami, I like Notre Dame and Virginia Tech and Virginia,
Yep.
UNC and Duke. I might have missed someone, but I think that's it. Wake Forest is a maybe, just because they kind of pulled some stuff off last season. They got some transfers this year. You never know. But man, that ACC on the bottom is bad, like stinky bad.
I know, which is crazy because Syracuse is always usually good. Louisville's always in there. Pitt and Florida State, those four, I'm selling those four, man.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm taking my money off the table. We're driving back from Vegas. We're going home.
Whatever's left, we're going to Freddy's. Absolutely.
Hey.
But yeah, and then it's like I'm really interested in seeing, because I think it was Louisville. They've kind of played some close games, but they're going to be playing in the Maui Invitational. Like, how's that going to look when they're playing against these elite of elite schools? I think that their first game, I think they play Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken.
Dang.
And that's going to be, Arkansas. Yeah, Arkansas is favored by double digits, by 13 points. So I don't know how that's going to go. But I don't know. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. But yeah.
So I want to bring this up because this is going to
ahead.
be, I want one more thing I haven't told you, but I wanted to talk about it real quick because it's one of the top 2 articles on ESPN right now. December 14th. Do you know what that is?
No. What is it?
All right. UC officials are going to set December 14th as the decision on UCLA's Big Ten move.
Oh.
So we got some time. It's only we got about 3 weeks. You think they're going to allow it or no? I wanted to get your take.
I think they will. Is it just for, what do you call it? Just for, you said UCLA, right?
Yeah, it just says UCLA, which is weird. I guess SC hasn't.
Is it? Oh, it's because SC is a private school, probably,
private school,
right?
It's only UC official. Okay, so yeah, it's just UCLA. The story just broke today at 1, so I was reading it earlier.
Yeah. I think that the Pac-12, I think they're going to make no matter what, they're going to make their way there. I just don't see it being something that, they can really stop. I'm more interested in seeing who's going to replace them in the Pac-12. I think you could see like a San Diego State come into the Pac-12, maybe even a, who else?
Gonzaga.
No, because
Gonzaga doesn't have football. For real. Oh, that's true. You're right.
Gonzaga doesn't have football. Unless someone really wants to take it just for the hoops. By all means, but
yeah,
I don't know. Besides, who else besides San Diego State? Maybe like an SMU or something. out of Texas. That would be pretty nice. They have a well-rounded like basketball and football from a smaller conference.
By the way, I'm just looking at the scoreboard right now. I did not know Creighton was ranked number 10 in the nation.
Yeah, we talked about them,
That's
man. They
crazy.
got
Did you?
the transfer from South Dakota State, Baylor Shireman. Is that how you say his last name? From the Jackrabbits.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. They're on FS1 right now. I'm about to go turn it on.
Yeah, you got to turn that
No,
one
that was
on.
my lot.
And then the other thing I was going to talk about, man, is because like we talked about those tournaments earlier. I just wanted to go through them real quick. I mean,
Yeah,
just
if
like
you have them
looking
up,
at
let's
who's
go.
playing. Yeah, I have them up right now. Let me get to the right column. So the Maui Invitational, right? So this is the one with Louisville we were talking about. This is who's in it. It's Texas Tech versus. It starts Monday, November 21st. We got Texas Tech versus Creighton. So it's a top 25
Oh,
matchup.
there you go, Creighton. Okay, there you go.
Louisville versus Arkansas. Ohio State,
Sure.
who could very well be ranked by this. You never know. Maybe,
They're on the
the
cusp
rankings
right
come out on
now.
that day. Yeah, they're on the cusp versus San Diego State.
Oh,
And
that's
then
gonna be
you
a
have,
really good game.
yeah, and then you have Cincinnati versus Arizona. So, I mean, I think Arkansas will actually play the loser of Creighton and Texas Tech. So they're going to have two straight, like,
Oh
tough
my
ass
gosh.
matchups. And then also, too, do you want to get into some of the other ones as well?
Yeah.
Because there's
Dude, there's
a
so many tournaments. It's cool because everybody's
yeah,
off this next coming week and everyone just plays college
yeah.
basketball, which is so
So
cool.
Battle for Atlantis. You
It's
have
always good.
Kansas versus NC State, who actually I forgot about NC State. They've actually looked pretty good out of the ACC with Terquavion Smith and stuff. So I would actually include them in the team that hasn't disappointed me. I think that they could give Kansas a game too. Especially since Kansas is still trying to figure it out with the small ball. Um, and then they got Dayton and Wisconsin, USC and
Ooh,
BYU, and Tennessee and Butler. So some solid teams, man.
solid names, solid teams.
Yeah, solid names. And then the ESPN Events Invitational. We got Florida State versus Siena, Ole Miss versus Stanford, Oklahoma versus Nebraska, and Memphis versus Seton Hall. And then the last two are the Phil Knight ones. These ones I'm probably the most interested in besides the Maui Invitational. You got UNC versus Portland, Iowa State versus Villanova, which I think could actually be a really good game. I know Iowa State had a lot of roster turnover. UConn and Oregon, Alabama and Michigan State, which is going to be a really good
Oh, that's gonna
game.
be a very good
Yeah,
game.
we got to tune into that one. We might have to like sit and watch these games together. Oh, you know what? I think that's on Thanksgiving actually, though. When is it? Thursday the 24th.
24th is next.
Next Thursday.
The next Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Thanksgiving. What time?
those are at so Alabama Michigan State is 10:30 Eastern, so 7:30 for us.
Okay.
And then the last one is the Phil Knight Legacy. This one's a good one too. You got Duke versus Oregon State. You got Florida versus Xavier. Xavier looking pretty good too.
Yeah, they
Purdue
are.
versus West Virginia, which that's going to be a battle, man. Two physical
Mm.
teams. Um, and then you got Portland State versus Gonzaga. So some good games in here, man. Some
Damn, next
good,
week's gonna be
solid games.
fun.
I know
We're
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be
we're gonna be feasting.
honestly. We're gonna have to probably do a few shows. To be honest, we'll probably have to do like 3,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm
I
ready
mean,
for it.
I might try
But
rewatching. But
before we go, I gotta like pump myself up here because your boy, man, he's looking good. I said I had a Texas A&M nugget for you. So I don't know if you remember, but one of my players to watch was a guy by the name of Wade Taylor, the point guard for Texas A&M. Before the last game, he was averaging 20 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds on 77% field goal percentage,
yeah.
78 from three, 92% from free throw. And like you said, they just lost to Murray State. I think he had a It wasn't as good of a game, but he was still solid. And my boy Justin Powell from Washington State, who I said was a deep, deep sleeper transfer, putting up 10, 5, and 5 for Washington State for the Cougs, doing pretty
Hey,
well. And my last one, my actual brother from your Miami Hurricanes and my Miami Hurricanes. I don't know why I said yours, because they're everybody's Miami Hurricanes. Jordan Miller putting up
hey,
16 points a game, 8 rebounds on 63% shooting, and he's averaging almost 3 steals a game. That's my boy, doing it on both sides of the floor. That's my guy. So Jalen Clark is to our buddy Brendan is what Jordan Miller is to me, president of the fan club. That's my guy.
nice. Love to
So,
hear it.
yep, love to hear it. With that being said, man, so I'm guessing so next week we'll probably we have to figure out what days the games are on and everything. Maybe we'll even do one on
It'd be fun to
Sunday.
do a live show while watching the games.
Yeah, that would be cool too, or like do it at halftime or after, like right after. I don't know, something like that. That would be cool. But yeah. But before we get into wrapping things up, I got to give a shout out to our sponsor, AB, About the Fans. If you're a Miami fan, go check out all of his stuff. He's got the best shirts, stickers, apparel. And make sure you use our code BCity for 10% off. That's again at aboutthefans.com. So shout out to AB and shout out to Jordan Nelson, my boys. So I don't even think I got to tell you this, but I actually I met up with both of them when I went to Miami for the football game and for the basketball game.
Hell yeah. No, you didn't say that, but that's sweet.
Yeah, so I got to meet up with them. It was cool. But yeah, so it was a good time. Make sure you get your merch. I got my buckets hat right here.
Hey, that's clean.
Yeah, about the fans. So support the brand, good peoples. But yeah, Toms. With that being said, man. Oh well, before we get to the closing words of wisdom, make sure you follow us on YouTube. We're setting up that podcast thing. I'm actually supposed to get on a call with Jordan tonight about that. So make sure you find us wherever. Well, I guess I'll have an announcement wherever we put them out, but I'm sure you'll be able to get them on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Spreaker, Spotify. With that being said, Tommy D, what are the closing words of wisdom for us tonight?
I was going to say eat all the dessert at Thanksgiving, but I think we'll talk to you before then. But I'll still just say eat all your dessert and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Absolutely. Have a good night, guys.